Now you're in studio. You go into the YouTube studio that's on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I'm in YouTube.
Customization.
Yep. I don't see it there.
Bro, why is this guy's fucking thing like fucked up?
Well, I just went live again. Let me know if you see it. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're back up. You also have lost. You lost my cam in this live.
No, you're right there. I'm seeing it on my OBS.
Maybe I'm on the old one. What are you streaming on?
How's everything
That's so
sound?
weird that I just showed back up.
Is the chat working?
There we go. Chat's working. We're good.
All right, chat's
I don't
working.
know.
All right, we're good.
I don't know
All
what
right,
happened, but
all right, we're back. All right, we're gonna give it a couple minutes, let everybody kind of come trickle on in through.
well, like we were saying, let's double check see if we have anyone playing in fantasy today.
Yeah, as we were saying before, we had some technical difficulties. Yeah, what's going on, Jake, Ty, Isaac? Yeah, we got the SOB podcast.
Yeah, SOB today.
You're gonna have to be my chat reader because for some reason YouTube TV doesn't pop up a chat.
No, you're fine.
Well, I just say we're offline.
I don't know.
Are we up though?
Also, can you guys see my cam? Bro, it's so weird with my cam.
Nope, it says we're live. Okay, there we go. Turn Desco audio up. Oh, I forgot not everybody has EQ. All right, it's up as loud as it can go. Mike, where's your cam at? Oh, there we
Huh?
go.
It's there.
Okay.
Everything's there.
All right, but yeah, let's
Hold on. It's when you go to this, my cam disappears on the live stream.
Is it on there now? I see you on my OBS.
Yeah, now I'm there. I don't know. It's so weird.
We're figuring everything out kind of as we go here, ladies and gents.
I just moved my mic closer, Jake.
Yeah, I got it all the way up. Desktop audio.
Yeah, but I mean, fuck it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let me give 1 second here. We're gonna jump into it.
Uh,
But we're waiting on Paul to tweet out, but he says he can't find it. I don't know why. He's not subscribed. Yep. See, there we go. We're all here. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. We're back here on the FT channel, bringing you guys a new edition here. We got you the NFL podcast, and tonight I'm joined with Mike Desi, the duo, the world champ, kind of co-casting here with me today. Missing two of our members that are sick. Sketchy and Isaac both came down with the flu. They both went out to dinner on a nice little date last night, and now they're both sick and
Yeah.
can't show up. So me and Mike are here to hold it down and get the job done. How you doing tonight, Michael?
We're great here. Well, not my football team, but me specifically, I'm good.
You're doing good, hanging in there.
Yeah, by a thread. See, hopefully by next week we can have this image changed, and we will not see number 3 on here. But
We'll get into that later, huh? We'll get into that later.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it later. All right, well, let's jump into the first slide here. What we got is we're going to go with the week 1. We're going with the straight recap of the week. Michael, do you want to start us off?
You got to start off with game of the week. Got to start off with it. The Baltimore breakdown. As I like to say, breakers break. Isaac Lamar, is there really a difference?
That was a crazy game. If I'm going to be completely honest, but that Josh Allen kind of shown everybody that he can win the big time games. I feel like that's been the big staple of his career. Big time games. He's maybe came up just a little bit short. And I know it's week 1. It's not a playoff game. But I think that game of the week last week, Bills Ravens. I think that was a huge win for Buffalo. And also not just Buffalo themselves, but for Josh Allen. Like you said earlier, I feel like he just always comes up short in those big time games, especially against. We've seen Burrow dominate him in the playoffs. He hasn't got over the Mahomes hump yet. So see him beat a top 5 quarterback in the league is a good sign for the Bills and kind of what their year shows them.
Yeah, just another game that I want to highlight. The Tampa Bay Atlanta game. Tampa Bay able to come back in the 4th, but a big thing for me with that game was a problem that really went all throughout last year with Atlanta. Younghoe Koo, this guy cannot hit a game-tying or game-winning kick to save his life. If they are down 3, the game might as well be over because he's going to miss the big-time kick, and that's continued. I'll be surprised if he even makes the roster throughout the entire year, if I'm being honest. Just really has not delivered. Penix didn't look bad, but the real spotlight, all you Ohio boys going to love this. Emeka Egbuka, that boy was cooking. Found the end zone twice in his rookie debut. And, Tampa, once they're healthy, they're scary. They got 4 receivers that they could line up and beat you.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that on top what you just said about Tampa. These are 2 teams that I'm actually really huge on in the NFC. I think the Falcons can have a sneaky good season, in my opinion, but I also think Tampa Bay, and this goes back to since when they had Tom there, Brady. I feel like the organization maybe changed a little bit once Tom got there, and it feels like they're always right there. Like I think Baker Mayfield is a phenomenal quarterback, and then when you go down to the offensive side of the ball, you got Bucky Irvin, and then like you said, you got 4 guys out there. You have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Buka. This Tampa Bay offense is a scary offense, and I'm honestly intrigued to see kind of what they do throughout the year and see how they progress and grow. But I think they could be a sneaky team that can be pretty good, be a 12-win team there in the NFC for sure. And then the Falcons, we'll see what they do. Growing pains with Penix, obviously. You said we'll talk about missed kicks a little bit more here on the show today. Missed kicks. But I think those are growing pains. That was a very winnable game for the Falcons. So we'll see how they bounce back, see what Penix does throughout the year. What I did see was there was one guy that I felt like had a pretty good game.
Pan over to the next page, too.
Oh, want me to pan over?
Yeah, pan over. We got all the scores.
My apologies. Forgot we had the scores.
Yeah, me and him aren't very technical.
No, we just got this 5 minutes ago. We're working. But I was going to say, it's Kyle Pitts Sr. from what I heard. 7 catches, 60 yards.
It might be his year.
It might be his year. This was the year where everybody gave up on him on fantasy. I saw him going in the
I
12th,
drafted him, though.
13th round. And he was dropping in all the rounds. And
Hey, I was trying to let you know that the next page had scores, but then you just switched to it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We didn't run through it before we got it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You guys are seeing this for the first time.
So are we. So, like I said, we got some guys out sick. But yeah, Kyle Pitts. I think he can have a phenomenal year. I mean, we know what Bijan Robinson, what he possesses. Top 2, top 3 running back, maybe 1. He can kind of really do it all. I mean, he had, I think if my memory serves me right, 6 catches, 100 yards or 110 yards, something like that. He had that 50
yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, 50-yard touchdown catch on my fantasy team. So
he had it on one of mine. Didn't help.
Honestly, to me, like I said, that game sticks out to me. I think those are 2 really good teams. So that was also a very phenomenal game. And just taking a look, another game. I want to talk about another game because I thought it was a crazy game. I didn't get to watch it, unfortunately, but the Jets Steelers game. What a roller coaster of emotions of a football game. For everybody that we'll learn on the show and everything. I'm a huge Bengals fan, so I went up to Cleveland for week 1, and they were showing on the Jumbotron the Steelers game, and the whole stadium's cheering because Pittsburgh's losing, yada yada. The end of the Bengals game got kind of interesting, so they didn't show anything. As we're walking to the car, pull up the phone, look at the scores, you find out the Steelers won. And holy moly, talk about a football game from 2 quarterbacks that are playing the teams they were on last year. It was a heck of a football game. I'm really upset that I could just get stuck watching the ESPN highlights of the game. But Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns. From what I seen, he looked pretty decent, pretty phenomenal. I mean, he was 22 of 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. They give up 4 sacks. The run game for Pittsburgh is, to me, what I find, what I look at might be their biggest weak spot. I don't see a true RB1 out of Pittsburgh. And then, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, did their thing.
Yeah, you just like him because his name's Austin.
Yeah, he's got a good name, but DK Metcalf, he's been a superstar receiver in this league for about 4 or 5 years now. He's looking for a breakout year. He's had a couple 2 years in a row where I feel like he's kind of just been right under the hump. But yeah, to talk about a football game, no defense played at all in this game. Reminded me of a lot of the Bengals games last year. And the defense is usually one of Pittsburgh's strong suits. Mike, I'll let you talk about the New York team if you want.
I was gonna say, Justin Fields kind of balled out, playing his former team. He had a good game running and throwing the football, which is usually pretty rare for him to be able to do both. But it looked like he was very comfortable. Also you got to think the time at Ohio State with Garrett Wilson, they seem to be on the same page. One thing that I look out for with the Jets later on in the year, though. Mason Taylor, as you'll find out throughout this, I'm an LSU fan. That's why I somewhat like the Bengals, because, they're pretty much the only thing I can root for at this point. Mason Taylor, I think he's going to come along and end up being a really good option for the Jets throughout the year. Probably once they get through that bye week, that's usually when rookies tend to really turn it up. I think he'll end up being that guy for the Jets, because they haven't had a good tight end since Dustin Keller, and he wasn't even great. He was average.
Never heard of that guy in my life.
He was good. He wasn't great, but they haven't had a good tight end in years. And I just think the Jets, both teams thought this was going to be a defensive battle, and it turned out to be a shootout. So
right. Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen. I was shocked when I saw that final score.
There's probably. We could talk about the Chargers-Kansas City game, but in my opinion, it was 21-27, but it was kind of a boring game. Kansas City was never really in it, I felt like.
Yeah, I think a big highlight of that, just to talk about injuries, is that Xavier Worthy. We'll see how the weeks come. And and kind of how that offense,
I'm checking right now. I'm seeing if he hit IR.
did he? But I mean, for sure he's out for this week, probably out for the next week. But I think that's a pretty good thing to keep an eye on here. But I think with Andy Reid, that offense will put points up. They'll get the yards. You know what I mean? They'll move the football. I think that's a very good matchup week 1. Yet again, I like a lot of the matchups we had, to open the week up, open the season up. Some good football games, some great matchups. I mean, Dallas and Philly week 1. I know everybody's dead on Dallas, and I feel like that's just been the thing for the last about 10 years about Dallas is America's football team, but they haven't been relevant since the 80s. But I think Dallas is a good football team, even though you give up Chandler Parsons, you move on from him, but you bring in another offensive weapon and oh my God, Pickens. I almost forgot his name. I think that team could be sneaky, and even Javonte Williams. I mean, pick up from Denver from last year. I mean, he had a solid game. So I think yet again, that's a great matchup. And I mean, you get a AFC North matchup week 1, Cleveland versus the Bengals. Typical hard knock football there. And then even Chicago, Minnesota. I mean, 2 young quarterbacks going at it on Monday Night Football. I mean, we had some really good football games, Michael. And I was a fan of a lot of. I got to watch a lot of the football games, the 4:00 games, on the way back from Cleveland, and I think the only snoozer football game that I can remember off the top of my head watching was the 49ers and Seattle game.
Yeah, it was rough. The Tennessee Denver game was rough, which I don't really want to talk too much about that game, but Denver looked like shit.
Is a sophomore slump a thing?
I mean, Bo Nix had 2 or 3 turnovers.
He
threw 2 picks.
He had 2 picks for sure. He had 2 picks for sure.
But I mean, wait, I almost forgot one guy that I wanted to make sure that I talked about during this. Everyone keeps writing him off, but he does not write back. Geno Smith. This guy just went into New England and threw for 360 yards. I mean, put on an absolute show. They couldn't run the ball for shit. Then, I mean, he just kind of willed his team to the victory. And, everyone was sitting here hyping up New England this entire offseason, but they didn't show much. And still seems like they have receiver struggles.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Diggs obviously bouncing back from that, from the ACL injury. We'll see how he progresses throughout the year. I think Hunter Henry.
Oh my God!
Could
Sketchy
definitely
just wrote in the chat.
What?
The Broncos defense allowed -2 yards in the second half.
Yeah. Denver's got a good defense, man. If Bo Nix, I mean, I know we're hopping around, but Bo Nix, he struggled until about week 8 last year. People don't remember that. He struggled for a good portion of last year, started slow, and I feel like the defense for Denver kept him in the season, kept him alive, kept him in won them football games, and yet again, that's defense wins championships, and that's I'll stick on that. But if that Denver defense can keep them alive, in football games, and they played a rookie quarterback. How good is Cam Ward? You know what I mean? First start, so let's.
He looked like he was making plays.
Yeah, we'll see how. Obviously, it's the first week of the year. We'll see how some of these guys progress. But what do you say we hop on to the next topic here, Michael?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, let's see what we got. What Sketchy's got in store for us. We got game of the week, week 1. I feel like we already mentioned it.
The background said it all.
The background says it all, and it's the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. It feels like there's not too many words to explain this game other than just wow. You know what I mean? Just wow. What? Feel like I still saw this movie a lot last year for my football team. Just 1-point heartbreakers, 40-point up loss. I mean,
happened to you against Baltimore.
It did happen to us against Baltimore, and I'm gonna be honest. I want to get on this topic, and I want to get on this is we're going to talk about horrible defenses and blame defense for losses, this, that, and the other. Baltimore's defense has absolutely no excuse and no reason to be giving up 40 points a game to anybody. I don't care. Baltimore has too much on the defensive side of the football to give up 41 points. They give up 30 points. Baltimore giving up 30 points is it's crazy. Like, I will stay on that. I mean, you just bring in Jair Alexander, and he did not look good, and he's what many people like to call an all-pro cornerback. A top 15 corner in the National Football League, and he looked terrible. You got Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton. You go to the defensive line. I mean, there's just studs all over that side of the football. And Josh Allen puts up 41, having Keon Coleman as his star wide receiver. Like, come on.
I was gonna say, are we having a Keon Coleman breakout? 8 catches for 112, touchdown.
I mean, maybe he built up that relationship and that connection with Allen over the offseason and throughout his rookie year. We'll see, but I mean, just what a football game. I mean, Baltimore, like I said, I talked about their defense, their offense. I think we know Baltimore's offense. They're capable of putting up 40 against anybody. I don't think Buffalo's defense is really anything that crazy, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing that really sticks out to me for their defense. It just looks, kind of reminds me of the Bengals defense, so I'm going to be completely honest. There's really not
a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit better, but like
Not
it's not like, to me, they don't look like a top, like on paper they don't look like a top 10, top 15 defense. Like, they don't look like, I don't know. That might just be my opinion. What is my opinion? They don't really have much to offer on the defensive side of the ball. I think Ed Oliver might be their best defender, and then I mean, like, I'm just sitting here scrolling. I'm literally looking at their defensive roster right now. Like, it's
not great.
It's really not great.
But also, Ty, just something for you to highlight about the Worthy injury. I just saw he's limited in practice. There's a chance he plays this week. Just throw that out there. But no, I mean, I don't know. Like, people were arguing who should have won MVP last year. This, that. Was it Lamar? Was it Josh? Well, I just saw Lamar have a running back run for 170 and 2 touchdowns and still lose a football game, and Josh Allen went and won the football game.
Breakers break.
Yep.
Yet again, Lamar. I mean, I talked about Josh Allen a little bit earlier when we talked about Game of the Week. Lamar hasn't done anything besides win regular season awards in his time in the NFL. I think that's a topic of conversation that eventually is going to have to come out about that surrounds Lamar Jackson, is can he win the big football games? Because up until this point in his career, he hasn't. He hasn't won meaningful football games. He's won regular season awards, which is great and fine and dandy. They'll talk about you 20 years from now in Baltimore about how you won the MVP, 2-3 times. You know what I mean? Like, but what is he going to be able to win the Super Bowl? Is he going to be able to get them? The
Bucs ain't going to forget Joe Flacco. I'll tell you that.
You know, like that's a great point. Is Lamar's a phenomenal athlete and he's a great quarterback, great football player. But when does I like when everybody likes to put everybody in the same bubble, not hold people to certain standards, this, that, and the other, move at all. Like, yeah, he's won a lot of regular season awards and accolades, but has he even won a playoff game yet? Has he won one?
Yes.
He's won one playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe he's won 2.
Did he win a second one last year? Let's get a fact checked on that.
I'm checking right now. Lamar is 3-5. He won once he's won one game in some of his playoff runs. He's never won 2.
Never won 2, so never got past the.
He's been in the AFC Championship, I think. Last year he was.
Last year, okay. So he got over the hump last year, but then what? Going to beat Mahomes.
Yep.
So I think that's a great topic that I want to stay on throughout the year. Yet again, I think Baltimore, Buffalo, these are both going to be 2 12-1 teams. They're going to be battling for the 1 seed for the AFC, and this might have been the game that decides it, because if records tie, it goes head-to-head. Buffalo has that over them now. But yeah, what a phenomenal game. No defense. I mean, like we just said, Buffalo has no defensive players that even are worth talking about. But Baltimore, I mean, how many times are defense give up 40 before, people start calling their defense garbage? Because I mean, let me just name them off.
The best secondary.
Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, Malik Starch, he's a rookie, but he's a stud. Membuki, Cheeto Awuzie, throwing my mouth up saying that name in a Baltimore Ravens jersey. Nate Wiggins, he's a young cornerback, a lot of talent. Jair Alexander, Mike Green, rookie. I mean, this team's got a lot of names and a lot of talent, and just
Not
like
a lot of playing.
and not a lot like their secondaries on paper the best secondary in the NFL. And then Roquan Smith is literally he's probably a top 3 or 5, I'd say top 5 linebacker. And then Mbuke, he's literally a dog at D tackle. He what's the word? He terrorizes Joe Burrow every time we play him. Like I feel like he's always in Joe's mouth. So pause. No diddy. But yeah, let's hop on to the next topic. Is we got game of the week predictions for week number 2.
I'm pulling up the full scoreboard or whatever you want for it. I mean, there's a couple that I think could be game of the week. I mean, you obviously got to talk about the Super Bowl rematch, Mahomes versus Hurts. Backs are kind of against the wall for Kansas City. You know, you don't want to start 0-2. I know as a Bengal fan, you've seen that statistic pretty often. Teams that start 0-2 have a pretty rough percentage on making the playoffs.
It's not pretty, I'll tell you
Bengals
that much.
did it their Super Bowl year. But
No, they didn't. The only year they went to the Super Bowl. They went to the AFC Championship game that year. When they went to the Super Bowl, they won that was the only time in the Zach Taylor era, minus this week 1, the Bengals won the first game of the year. And they went to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I'll be honest, I think it's like a 2-man race for game of the week. I think it's between Eagles, Chiefs, and I mean, it's your boys.
I'll be honest, I got game of the week, and it's a different game of the week. I'm going to have to take a picture of this just to have it for my safekeeping. Give me a second. My game of the week is different than yours. My game of the week is actually my game of the week, the Commanders vs. Packers. I think this is going to be I think we're going to see a good football game tonight. That's my game of the week. But I think those are yet again 2 teams that are going to be in the NFC battling for the 1 seed. I think they might be the 2 best teams in the NFC. I think if you look at the struggles that the Lions are going to go through, losing their OC, a whole new offense, we saw the struggles against them in Lambeau Field against the Packers in week 1. Honestly, I think the Packers are probably the best team in the NFC, and the Commanders were in the NFC Championship game last year with a rookie quarterback. So I think we're going to see some fireworks tonight. I think we're going to see a nice, I'm thinking 30-24, 27-24 kind of football game. But I think I got my game of the week is the Commanders vs. Packers. What are you sticking with?
I think it'll probably end up being. I'll be honest. I think the highest scoring game is going to be Jacksonville-Cincinnati. That's going to be a really fun game to watch.
I hope not.
I'm not going to lie. Your boys ain't you guys held Joe Flacco to 16 points, quote unquote, if you want to count all the missed kicks. But I think that game's going to be an absolute shootout. I think it's probably going to be the best game. And just not really a game of the week, but a headliner game. You got Ben Johnson going back to Detroit. Week 2, both teams 0-1.
Sorry, somebody was knocking on my door. What'd you say?
Yeah. Who was it?
Noah. I don't know. He's bothering me for some reason. Never knocks on my door, ever.
Yeah, then we're doing this. He's got it. But, I was just saying a game to highlight. Ben Johnson going back to Detroit. That'll be interesting. See what both teams... I mean, kind of a grudge match for Detroit and starting off 0-1. If they lose to him, could be slow. But, I mean... We'll talk about that a little bit later on towards the end of the show. We'll talk about some of the games coming up, where we think they're going to go.
Right, absolutely. And then upset potential week 2 is I'm going with this one right now. And it's funny because I didn't know this ahead of time that Sketchy is a Broncos fan. I got the Colts over the Broncos.
Oh, all right. I'm
going with the Colts over the Broncos. Now,
Look, you didn't bring it up.
I
I
did
didn't
it.
want to, but Danny Jones cooked last week.
He did. He might have not been the problem in New York. Might be a topic for conversation. But I like the Colts. I mean, Lou Anarumo. I mean that Dolphins offense. Yet again, we want to talk about talent on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of talent on that offensive side of the ball to look like that. And this game's in Indy, at home. I think the Colts. I mean, this is a AFC matchup here. Um, 2-0 Colts starting off, and yet again we saw Denver struggle last week. Saw them struggle early on last year. So I got the Colts over Denver, which I don't know if that's a crazy upset. I mean, I guess I'll let you guys decide that if that's a wild upset. What do you think, Mike?
I could see it happening. If the same Daniel Jones shows up this week. But you don't know which Danny's showing up. That's just the problem. I think JT might struggle on the ground, and like Sketchy said earlier, the defense on Denver is just really good. But also with Daniel Jones, he can run. That was arguably his best asset while he was in New York, was that he could, tuck it, and he doesn't shy away from contact, even though he probably should. Guy loves to lower his shoulder, and I mean, we'll see what happens with him. But look, I'm rooting for the guy. I mean, fuck it, go win a ring, right? Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley both get a ring out on the Giants. Why not, right?
You gotta think it might not be a them problem. It's a New York Giants football problem.
Yeah, I know. But while you're on the New York Giants, we're gonna go to my upset pick of the week. We're going with the New York Giants. They're gonna go march into Jerry World, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we're probably gonna come out. Russ is gonna throw a pick on the first drive, but then that man's coming in."
You think they put him in this early?
Listen up. This is okay. So I went and I've been against putting him in this early, but then I thought about it. Playing him against Dallas without Micah Parsons now is the best possible game to put in a rookie quarterback. They can't rush the passer for shit. Jalen Hurts was able to scramble on him. Yeah, sure. Their receivers, they didn't really throw the ball that much. He was hitting the tight ends a lot. But that Dallas team did not look great at all on the defensive side of the ball. If they put him in, they could win. If they don't put him in, I still think they got a shot because not Stephon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is going to get barbecue chicken by Malik Neighbors all day. And I don't really see them being able to move the ball that much against us. This is probably the worst Dallas O-line in the last 10 years. I think our front seven can give them a lot of great looks. And if the Giants just blitz just a little bit more than they did against Washington, because that was a big problem in their game. They didn't
get
turn up the
for
pressure
that at all.
They did when they blitzed. They were successful. They were able to get Jaden off his spot. And look, don't get me wrong, the receivers are open, but with our secondary, the receivers are open every damn play.
Yeah, you guys gotta.
We can't.
Your guys'
We can't
defensive
cover shit.
strength is definitely your guys' D line, and then the linebacker unit. Your secondary, yet again, we're talking about our teams. It might be on par with the Bengals secondary. Just absolutely Swiss cheese every time.
I mean, Adebo looked like shit. What's his name? Safety, Miami. Can't remember his name. Just signed him.
Holland.
Yeah, Javon Holland. He looked actually pretty decent, but they were not able to cover much. And it was rough to watch, but I think CeeDee Lamb, yeah, he might be 7-11 against us, but we'll see. I'm just hoping the defense can somewhat hold them and we win a nice game, 20-17.
Low scoring. Yeah, I mean, I love that prediction, to be honest. I love that. Jackson Dart coming in. For you guys that don't know, I'm an Ole Miss fan. So I actually.
Fuck it, Russ, get a concussion.
So kind of how Mike roots for the Bengals because of Burrow and Chase. I'm kind of rooting for Jackson Dart when he goes in for the Giants. I just don't see them putting him in this early. I did see on Twitter that Dable did go to the front office. and spoke.
I don't know the truth of that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
They told. I know that they definitely did have the meeting. I've seen there was one thing that I saw where they're like Dable went and asked if he could start Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I think that's what I was about to say. That's what I read. I don't know. Yet again, don't know the truth behind it. Obviously, I'm just not a fan of it. I think let him sit. Let him get comfortable in New York. Let him get comfortable to the NFL. But I think, to your point, the only way to adapt to the NFL speed is to go out and play. So I will agree with you on that point. I just don't think you bring in Russell Wilson to start week one, play against a team that was playing in the NFC Championship game last year on the road, and then give up on him after 1 week. Now, do I think Russell Wilson's the answer to New York's problems? No. He's just kind of there to sell the tickets, put butts in the seats until about week 10, week 11, and then go on the dart. Let him start the last stretch of the games and let him get comfortable into next year, because the Giants' football schedule is literally it's the toughest schedule in football, and it's not even close. And I just you look at Bryce Young, this guy is horrible. This cat is dog shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I was debating on picking them as my upset pick.
Now, Bryce Young, yet again, that I saw this last night, might be the only blockbuster trade in sports history that didn't help either team. Because nobody got anything from that trade that any player's doing anything on that team to help them win. They're just terrible, both teams. But yeah, hopefully they don't put Dart in. Hopefully they let him kind of soak in the NFL, learn a little bit, and then jump in the next year.
If we're down 20, put the kid in the fucking game. I don't give a fuck.
I'd rather see J-Mo go in and play. I just don't think you ruin a player that early. I don't think the Giants are. Shit. I don't think the Giants. I think the Giants Super Bowl like celebrating this year, and I know you're a Giants fan, is 5 wins. I think 5 wins is very tough for the Giants when you look at the schedule they have. The schedule they have is ridiculous. It's
hell.
It's not something that's enjoyable, and I wish I could pull it up for you guys. I mean, I can pull it up for you guys, so I'll do that.
Teams.
I got it. Just give me a sec. Right. So we're just looking here. Washington's obviously a loss. Now Mike's saying Dallas is a win. I have this as a loss for them, right? Washington loss, Dallas loss, Chiefs loss, Chargers loss. Your first winnable game is week 5 against the Saints.
Yeah, and then it doesn't get good again.
And then it doesn't get better again. Then you play Philly, Denver, and Philly. Those are 3 losses. You play San Francisco, that's a loss. Like, I'm looking at all these games so far. You're into week 10. I only see 1 game, and I guess they're all winnable, right? Score always starts 0-0, but realistically, I think you guys only have 1 game that's like, if they that's winnable. Like, I don't see them now. Obviously, they can win a game. Obviously, it's a National Football League. Anything can happen. But as somebody that watches football and is, pretty devoted to it and stays on top of stuff, I don't see them winning. I can see them being 2-8 after 10, right? And then they play Chicago. We don't know what Chicago's going to be like this year. Green Bay, I already talked about them. I feel like they're going to be a top team in the league. Detroit, we know what Detroit is. New England.
Beatable.
Right, but so far we're looking at 2 beatable teams and we're in week 13. This is where I really think you'll see Jackson Dart play football. I think you see Jackson Dart after the bye. As a New York fan, maybe New England, but that's like you said, a winnable game. Are they going to put a rookie quarterback in there? I don't think so. Like, realistically, I'm staring at 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. I literally have you guys winning 4 games this year. Just looking at it, not digging into it.
But you got to remember, it's Dable's ass on the line.
Right, but I mean, that hasn't done anything for him before. But that's my opinion. But let's hop on to the next topic. I feel like we're getting dragged on a little bit.
Yeah.
Is fantasy week 2 start/bench?
I got to double check what I wrote for this.
Oh, I already knew what I wrote. So I'll
I,
kick us off.
yeah.
I'll go with my start/bench. I have my start. I have Keon Coleman, Buffalo Bills. We talked about him a little bit here today. Is he having that breakout year? Possibly. I mean, like you said, 100 yards against what is supposed to be a good Ravens defense, and he looked good. Put up points, touchdowns, yards, did it all. To me, he's a start for me. Especially, like I said, they probably, to me, played one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. And then his week 2, I think it's easier. He plays the Jets, and we just saw the Jets give up, 30-something points, 34 points to 50-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And then I have my sit for the night. Mike's going to hate it. Scary Terry's my sit for the night.
That's my first touchdown score.
Yeah, I know it is.
But I mean, we'll see. I also don't agree. I don't agree with your start, if I'm being honest. They held DK to 3 catches for 72 yards. I think that Keon's not going to have that great of a week. But going over to my start sits, I mean, he was drafted in the later rounds, so I don't really know how many people were starting him. But my start this week, especially now, I picked this earlier. Then the trade happened where Tank Bigsby got traded. My starts, Travis Etienne. He had a great game. Granted, it was a good game script for him, but I think he's going to continue to succeed down there in Jacksonville. Very, very, very good matchup playing those Cincinnati Bengals. They don't like to tackle that much, so.
The run defense looked pretty good on Sunday to me.
Well, yeah, you just put 8 in the box and say, all right, Joe, have fun if you want to throw the ball.
I don't know. I think
they actually have.
You're harping on my Bengals, and you're making me bite my tongue not to yap too much. The Bengals' run defense is not the problem. We talked about it. We said the Giants. The front unit for the Bengals is not the problem. It's the 5 guys that surround them. And it's not – I'm talking about DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Cam Taylor-Britt, Geno Smith, Jordan Battle. Can they cover? The box for the Bengals looked phenomenal. The run defense, the Slayton signing was huge. I'm going to botch his name. The guy from the Chiefs that we brought over practice squad. I mean, we've looked to fix the issue on the defensive unit, the defensive front. And they looked phenomenal. So I'm not huge on your start, considering the Bengals, if you looked at their run script against Cleveland, which they tried to get heavy invested in the run with Dylan Sampson, rookie from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Averaged 2.5 yards a carry against what you're saying is a bad Bengals defense. Now, if they gave up 7 yards a carry, I'd say differently. But who's your bench for the week?
Oh,
buddy?
My bench, Javonte Williams, easy.
Really?
Oh yeah. They ain't gonna be able to run the ball. They don't have Jaden Daniels, who has the option of keeping the ball and actually being a valuable threat. I don't know if you watched Dak run on against that game against the Eagles, but it looked like he was falling over while he was running. I don't know what was going on with him, but
he's getting old, man. He's getting up there. What are we getting us for?
Sorry, no, I got a mother was calling me, of course.
But so you got to start sit right now. I need your help because you just said bench the guy that I started this week. Who do I go with?
Got?
Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams.
K9, bounce back week.
You think so? I don't know. That might be a game time decision for me. That might be an Austin Smiles decision at 11:30 at the tailgate as he starts walking to the Bengal Stadium around 12:30. That'll be it.
Sketchy just made a point. Like Javonte Williams had, if he doesn't score touchdowns, he has 8 points last week. Got in the end zone twice and only scored 20. Not great.
Charbonnet had more carries than Kenneth. He got out carried.
Yeah, I think that was just game script. I think Kenneth will have a way better week.
Well, we're gonna have to double back and see how our start sits went. We're gonna have to keep a little tally mark on our start sits for the week.
Oh, of course. Oh, by the way, I'm going 1-0 in upsets.
And then we're gonna go to it's funny. We're showing our fantasy teams, and our matchups. That's gonna be something we do on the show. Me, Isaac, who is sick, not here tonight. And Mike, we're all in a fantasy league together, and me and the kid played week 1, and it was a battle of the toilet bowl here. Me and Mike faced off with our fantasy teams. I'm here on the left with President Joe Burrow leading the way. A measly 102 points put up out of the squad. I'm gonna be honest. I love this team. For me, I think this is a pretty nasty. It is a 10-man for you guys that do ask. I love this team. Burrow, Bijan, Kyron, Drake London, Sutton, Andrews, and JMO. I think to me, I'm happy with that. And then Mike got belt to ass. He was all bark, no bite, per usual, out of the Desi camp. A measly 96 points put up. I'll let him talk about his team that's got the average age of 14 years old in the NFL.
Yeah. We're a very young team, so look. Also, by the way, just want to put it out there: if James Cook doesn't get tackled at the 1, I win. Or if Caleb Williams got ruled that he
we're talking about ifs, right? We're talking about ifs and buts. Maybe I can fly tomorrow. You never know. Maybe you win if you don't pick up the Dolphins defense, thinking Daniel Jones was gonna look like an idiot. Maybe you win there. You had Baltimore's defense, and you drop him for Miami the day that Daniel Jones was announced a starter.
Listen up. That would have been better. Baltimore had -4.
Did they? So, but yeah, this was I think your fantasy team will improve over the year.
Listen up.
We'll see about
be like 3-3 by week 6, and then we're golden.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a huge fan of my team. Yet again, this is like, my fantasy team's probably gonna swing the way the Bengals season goes. If Burrow's not playing hot, my fantasy team's probably not going to be hot. So this is kind of like to me, this is like watching the Cleveland versus Bengals game right here. Low scoring. I think we both put up the lowest points in the league. I think every other team would have beat us.
Yep.
But yeah, what a story.
Right.
Mike still can't beat me in anything.
Get ready. Caleb Williams.
I don't know if he's going to be all that. So we saw that second half collapse out of him. It was actually funny. I watched the second half. I didn't watch the first half as much. I watched the second half, and
the first half he was cooking.
But he looked horrible. He looked horrible until the last drive of the football game when they were still down by 10 at that point. And
you mean when he missed DJ Moore running wide open for a touchdown? Yeah.
But I think he got hit when he threw, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't. Caleb Williams.
Quarterback, Nick throw.
Right, but I mean he's young.
I'm reading the chat, Jake. Shut up.
What'd he say? I can't read it, Jake. I have too much on my screen. What'd he say?
He said L chat readers. I've been talking to the chat actually. But Jake's calling us L chat readers. So there he goes. It's all right.
Yeah, for this, yes, you want to know. Tyler thinks he'll see Dart. I don't know, but yeah, man, it's great to beat Mike and everything. I don't think there's something that this guy can beat me at. So, I own him and I'm everything.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday.
Buy or sell, fantasy wise.
Oh,
I didn't really think about
Williams.
I didn't really think about this one as much, but because I did it, I'm saying we're buying on the Justin Fields stock. We're buying on him. We're buying him. Now, I'm in 6 fantasy leagues. This guy did not start for a single person. Every league I'm in, I traded for him in one league. I picked him up in another league where you need a quarterback, and I picked him up because I thought you were going to try to get him, but you didn't. And then my other work league, everybody's selling him. Oh, I got Justin Fields. What do you got for me? Yada, yada. I would buy Justin Fields. You mentioned it earlier, the Ohio State connection between him and Garrett Wilson. And I think he's finally in a system and in an offense because obviously Chicago didn't want him. They gave up on him. And then Pittsburgh brought him in to be a backup. And then he started, won him 4 games. They're 4-1. They put him on the bench. So I feel like he's finally in a system and in a franchise that's committed to him. And I think he's going to have a hell of a year, kind of like he did 3 years ago when he was a top 5 fantasy quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league, but, I mean, he can run, throw, score touchdowns both sides of the ball. So I'm definitely buying on the Justin Fields stock, and I'm buying on it early for sure.
My player to buy is actually a guy who you're afraid to start this week. It's Kenneth Walker.
We have a difference of
Uh,
opinion in everything in life, don't we, Michael?
yep. But yeah, no, I think he's at. While Charbonnet, I think is going to end up being a factor. I think that they're going to be a team that's going to have to kind of rely on the ground to set up Sam Darnold. Their O line not the best, but I
Yeah,
think you say what you want.
I was gonna say. So we had this argument at work. Working in an office around a lot of people. We're all kind of males into football. We have two work leagues we're around, and we always get into arguments over football. One week is Carson Beck an elite quarterback, and then last week was
No.
Sam. Well, and then the next week was Sam Darnold's a top 10 quarterback in the league. I argued that to my grave. I do not think Sam Darnold is an elite quarterback. I think he's sitting at 20 to 21. I can name 20 quarterbacks in the league better than him. And like majority of football teams go. Offenses are better with better quarterbacks. And I think Kenneth Walker's struggles come with, like you said, look at what Geno did and with the Raiders week 1, right? I think New England's a good football team. So that was a shock one for me, but I don't think Sam Darnold's good. I think that Seahawks offense is going to struggle. You lose, last year they had DK, JSN, and Lockett. Now this year they have a 45-year-old Cooper Kupp, and who's tripping over his own feet when he's running a route, and a JSN. Like, that offense to me, lost literally. They're worse in every position possible besides running back that stayed the same. Their wide receiver one last year was DK. Now it's JSN. I think DK is still at this point better than him. And maybe you say JSN upgrade over Tyler Lockett being the wide receiver 2 and whatnot. But I really don't think that Kenneth Walker for me now is a buy. That's why he made his way to the bench this week for sure.
Which fair. I see your point, but he's a guy I'm trying to get after. Also, AJ Brown, big buy.
You're a big buy on him.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go nuclear this week. If anyone's out here throwing bets, AJ Brown 100+ yards on a touchdown.
If I'm not mistaken, I remember there was a lot of arguments last year with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts on the sideline about him not getting the football. I felt like, it felt like he didn't even
have
get
that same DVAC though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't have that week 1. But I mean, look at what Jamar Chase was at week 4 last year. 7-11. I'm always open. Throw me the fucking ball. At some point, AJ Brown's, if he doesn't get targets, doesn't get looked at, doesn't get the ball thrown his way, might go back into that diva sense of things. But I don't know. We'll see that Philly offense. I love AJ Brown, Ole Miss guy. So I'd like to buy. For sure. Fuck off.
What did you just read?
Yeah, I got it up on my phone.
Yeah, but Isaac, yeah, not a bad play. Bench Pittman. I mean, you're like 8 years late, but that's pretty good bench. But guy that I'm trying to offload after a week 1. I mean, I said his name already. I'm not a believer. Javonte Williams, get him the fuck off your team. He's not gonna do shit.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I think it's all downhill from here. I don't think they'll be a very competitive team. I don't think it's going to be very good for them this year. It's going to be a lot of obvious passing downs. His receiving work wasn't great, but then again, Miles Sanders might not touch a football again after last week. So
that's a
we'll
good
see
shot.
where he's at.
You know what? Since you're taking shots at me, I'm taking shots at you because I really didn't think about buy sell. Truthfully, before, I'm selling Malik Neighbors, selling him. I don't think the New York Giants, like I said earlier, are going to be a good football team. I think right now you can still get some decent value back for him, but in 5 to 6 weeks from now, when they're putting up 7 points a game and he's getting 9-10 points a game. It's gonna be hard to offload him, and he's a wide receiver 1. He's drafted, somewhere in that 12 to 15 spot.
He is a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he's a wide receiver 1, taking an Alter Green chat. 12, 15's where he went pick-wise. But I think the Giants, to your point, you want to talk about Javonte Williams being horrible. When I'm thinking about players that I can sell, guys that were drafted early, guys that have value to trade for, like you can sell Javonte Williams, but who's really like I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to give you a big package for him. Yeah, they're going to lose, right? Giants are going to be losing football games, but Russell Wilson cannot throw the football anymore. Look at him last year in Pittsburgh. Pickens didn't even have a good year. What did he put up last year? Did he put up 1,000 yards? Barely?
Yeah. No, I'm actually buying Nico right now.
You're buying Nico. I'd say I'm selling on Malik Neighbors just for the fact of A, I didn't put too much thought behind it, and B, I think the Giants are gonna be freaking horrible as long as they.
Yes,
if they
will suck.
If they put J-Mo in, it's a different story. But if Russell Wilson's the starting quarterback for the New York Giants, I wouldn't. If I had Malik, there's a reason why I didn't take him in any leagues this year. I had him last year, which is crazy. I trusted Daniel Jones more than I trust Russell Wilson. But I think Daniel Jones brings you more kind of threats. He's got the threat to run the football. Russell Wilson, we haven't seen that from him much, especially now that he's 65 and can't run anymore. But I would sell on Malik because I feel like you can probably get some value for him for sure.
Yeah, fair. We'll see. L take L reader.
Week 2 game predictions.
So, I mean,
no, we're jumping into this. I already told you what mine is.
Yours.
Here, I wish I don't have a pen or a paper next to me. We're gonna have to keep track of this, but it's just me and you. Just wait till episode 2. We already know mine. I'm going with the Colts week 1.
I'm fading you. I'm going Denver. I think the defense is too much.
You're going Denver?
Yeah, I'm just texting you my picks, by the way.
That's fine. Why not just text mine too with you? You know what I mean? Like, you know how to do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then I know we got some guys in the chat. We were told we're L chat raiders. So who do you guys have in this matchup? Grant, Isaac? Well, of course we know you got Denver. But no, I think this could be a pretty decent football game. I mean, Denver, everybody's going with Denver.
Yeah, everyone's gonna go Denver.
That's fine.
But yeah.
Think Indy makes it close.
Denver.
Denver.
Be a good game.
My guy Isaac. Hopefully we see you here on the show next week. Oh, he said
Isaac.
Denver.
Sketchy. Listen up. I live in New York, sir. If you could refrain from those statements on this day.
Oh my God! And we go on to the next slide. We're going Cincinnati versus Jacksonville. We've talked about the Giants today, decent amount. This is my time to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. You see the sign lit up behind me? Cincinnati Bengal fan season ticket holder. Mike's got this being a high-scoring game. For some reason, I have the complete opposite. I don't see this game being a high-scoring game on either side of the ball, or on either side. I got a close game. I got to go with Cincinnati. Obviously, I can't pick against them, even though I probably should, because everybody I root for loses. But I got a low-scoring game. I think the offensive struggles for Cincinnati are still going to be a thing. Even though it's crazy, they shouldn't have any slow starts or slow football games. I just feel like, yet again, for another year, Bengals are starting slow. On offense. Defense, I mean, key player, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, key players for me are the secondary for the Bengals. The player of the week for me, I don't know if we're doing this or rookie or whatever of the week, but player of the week for me for the Bengals has to be Cam Taylor-Britt. I think he's on the hot seat there in Cincinnati. On Monday, the day after the game in Cleveland, he was in Al Golden's office apologizing for sure. But yet again, Cincinnati, close one. I'll go 27-24 Cincy. Another close win.
So, look, I like the Bengals, but like I'm also a man of the people. We got the whole chat picking Cincinnati. You're picking Cincinnati. Give me the Jaguars. Give me a Trevor Lawrence masterclass. Actually, wait, hold on. Never mind. I've thought about it. T-Law can't beat Joe Burrow. Didn't beat him in college. Won't beat him in the NFL.
Didn't beat him the last time they were here in prime time. He couldn't beat Jake Browning. Jake Browning.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. I was trying to be a man of the people, but thinking about the quarterback matchup, got to go with Jacksonville.
We'll be on this side till kickoff. The O-line's on the hot seat. I don't know, Isaac. I mean, yet again, we haven't talked about the Bengals much on the show today, so I mean, I guess this is my time to speak. But I mean, give me your. We didn't talk about the Bengals game. I mean, give me your takes on the Browns. What do you think about the Bengals week 1? Do you think the Bengals struggle offensively, Mike, or do you think they put up some points? I mean, you have a high scoring game, so you think they're gonna?
I think both teams are gonna score a lot.
40s or 30s?
30s.
30s. I could see that, but honestly, it feels like we have mixed opinions about everything. I think the Bengals' run defense is better than people think. I think they made the improvements up front. I think everything falls on the secondary. And then that goes to your leader of your secondary. The leader of your secondary is your best cornerback. I don't care what anybody says. Geno Stone should be the leader of the secondary because he's a vet. But Cam Taylor-Britt, he's going to be going against Brian Thomas Jr., who I honestly think is going to have a field day. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to
barbecue chicken.
I never thought as a Bengal fan I would be asking where Eli Apple was at because at least that cat made some plays. Cam Taylor-Britt, I haven't seen him make a play probably since week 2 against the Chiefs last year, week 3, whatever the hell it was we played them when he made that one-handed pick. I haven't seen that dude play football in two seasons. He's really reminded me of Sam Hubbard where he was good for like a year or two and then just fell off a fucking cliff. That's Cam Taylor-Britt for me. Hell of an athlete. Fast, physical, but for some reason I feel like he can't put the pieces together. He probably should be on the practice field, not meeting speed in downtown Cincy yesterday. I should probably be watching game film or doing something to better him. But let's hop on to the next game. Next game of the week. Give me the fucking Cowboys. It's simple. Where's my boy Jake at? I know Novo's in the chat. Cam Taylor-Britt got hurt and hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a valid point. Do you remember what was that a hammy that he got hurt or a knee, Cody?
I think it was. I don't know.
But I don't know. I think you know what? Fuck it. We're taking the backslide. I think he's on the hot seat. He knows it. He went into Al Golden's office on Monday, the day after the game, and apologized and said he has to be better. Because I feel like you only do that. When you go to the principal's office before they call you in, Mike. To try to get ahead of being in trouble. You go up and you say, because you're afraid of the repercussions unless you try to get out in front of it. Cam Taylor-Britt's on the hot seat. I can see that dude being on the fucking bench. The contract year for him.
Enough of your Bengals. We're done with your shit.
I know.
Into the Big Blue.
Fucking Cowboys. Fucking 31-13. Not even a football game. Turn it off at halftime.
Beltez. It's going to be a defensive battle. Whether Jackson Dart comes in or not, maybe the defense puts one up for us. Dak throws a hospital ball. Telling you, the upsets happen and the defense will be there to play. Hopefully Abdul Carter won't be doing basketball closeouts at a quarterback. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Yeah, I did. Hand up or whatever what it was.
Yeah, but nah, I think they'll get home, I think they'll do a good job on the road, take it to Jerry World. Maybe Jackson Dart comes in, signs the wall like Eli Manning.
I don't know. Like I said, man, I got these cats winning 4 games. But we got me and Jake are going with the Cowboys.
Well, we will see. This brings us over to the next game, which is
tonight's matchup.
Oh, I got my pick.
Yeah, because you got first time. You got Green Bay? I got Green Bay with you.
I got Green Bay. I think it'll be a good game. Like I said, you think it's going to be game of the week.
Gotcha, Sketch.
Both teams. I'm kind of curious how they're going to fare. Green Bay kind of showed out against
Detroit,
against
a good Lions team. Yet again,
Washington, offense struggled.
Yeah. Rookie, I think, yet again, I mentioned a little bit about Bo Nix. We're seeing it with CJ Stroud last year into this year. Early success in the NFL for rookies, and then a little step back in their year 2 and on. Maybe we see that with Jaden this year. Think he's a hell of a quarterback. But home game,
LSU prospect, by the way.
yep. But home game in Washington, I think Green Bay is one of the best teams in the league. I have Green Bay winning this one. I got to be close. I think it'll go. I'm gonna go 24-21. I'm going field goals.
I got yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too high scoring. But I got like 28-24 or something in that range.
We're both picking Green Bay. I saw Washington for Cody in the chat. We'll hop on to the next football game. Atlanta versus Minnesota. Told you I was huge on the.
I think we're going the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you early on in the show we talked about that Atlanta game. I'm going with the Falcons over Minnesota for sure. And I got the Falcons. JJ McCarthy struggling, bad defense. Kept him in the football game. I think Atlanta's got a pretty solid defense all around, corner, safeties.
This game's gonna be close though, definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close game for sure. But I got the Falcons edging it out. I'll go 17-14. I don't think I can see the Vikings putting up 20 this week. I think we're gonna see the JJ
I'm
McCarthy
gonna
struggles.
pick Atlanta, but I don't love it. Vic Fangio on defense. That guy's schemes are insane. Not Vic Fangio. Who am I thinking of? Brian Flores. Jesus. Fangio's in Philly. Flores. The schemes that he puts out for Minnesota are fucking insane. So hard for quarterbacks to read.
Yeah.
If Penix does his job, I think they'll do well. But I'm still gonna pick Atlanta because I think Bijan and everything will be too much for them. But
I just think
it's gonna be a
Atlanta's a
close
better
game.
team.
Yeah, definitely gonna be close.
I think they got Jett as number one receiver. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a Bengals fan. But Jett is the best receiver in the league. I just don't think he's got enough around him to help him with Addison being out. And then I still don't think Minnesota has a run game at all. So I think that offense, not having a run game, affects your passing game. And with a rookie quarterback, you kind of need the run game to help you out a bit. So I got Atlanta winning this one.
I mean, if you want to start arguing, I could start arguing. Jamar's
Nope.
better receiver.
It's fine.
They played together at college.
Yet again, another team I'm huge on. We're on to the next game. It's gonna be Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm also so low on CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud struggles. No, yet again, they got a guy who's got 2 leg replacements as a running back. Yet again, I think Tampa Bay's a better team. I also think they probably have the better coach. To be honest, I think
Better
Tampa
coach,
Bay.
better team, better quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything kind of points, and we talk about offense a lot here. But yeah, I think the offense for Tampa. Yet again, Houston's got a good defense on paper. So maybe I think
Houston's defense is good.
it's gonna be a close game for sure. Yeah, I'll go 2017. 21-20. I'll go 21-20. But I think Tampa Bay yet again another close game win. But I think the CJ Stroud struggles will continue.
I'll be honest, I have Tampa, and I don't have it being close. I have Tampa
think
kind
so.
of mopping the floor with them.
I guess we'll have to tune in and find out. Cody saying Tampa in the chat with me. That's my guy.
Yeah, CJ Stroud I don't think he's it. Everyone got so hyped over 1 year.
Yeah, but I still think Houston can win the division and make the playoffs, even starting 0-2. And in my opinion, I think that division is legit horrible.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm high on Jacksonville.
I'm high on Jacksonville also. I wish we had
They're in the same division.
Yeah, I know. Wish we had our top 32 in here, but I don't think we have it in this week. And then we jump into this game here, Chargers versus the Raiders at home for the Chargers. I'm huge on the Chargers. Huge on Justin Herbert. They actually impressed me a lot with their game plan against the Chiefs. Thought they were going to run the ball a lot. Quentin Johnson, could he have a breakout year? That might have been somebody I bought on. Now that I think about it, he might be my buy high. Now I'm not huge on McConkley, but I got the Chargers winning this one, and I don't think it's close. But this is the division. This is the division battle. They're in the West, AFC
Listen.
West. But give me the Chargers. I think the Chargers
Listen, no one's picking the Raiders. Nobody believes in Geno. I'm sending him a letter, and I'm hoping he writes back today.
You hope so?
On
I don't know.
Monday night, prime time, 10 o'clock. I think that man is going to go in there. Look, the Chargers, they're all happy. They're probably looking into their matchup for next week. They're not thinking much of it.
Madison
Gentry
Beer
has
is
a
going to be in
better game.
attendance there. Herbo's not losing in front of her.
I think you forget how Herbo does in primetime games, my boy. He's not very good. He had one good one. You know why? He wasn't in the USA.
Guess we'll have to
I'm
tune
taking
in
the
to find
Raiders.
out. Chargers. Me and Cody have the same picks. Week 2 power rankings. Do we have the power rankings up?
I don't think we have them
No, we do.
imported in.
We do not have them imported in, but I can.
Just run me through your top 10.
Can you wait? Do you have Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, run us through the top 10. My top 10. What I have here, Michael. Do you have Discord on your phone?
Yeah.
Text me this list on hit me up on Discord with it.
Jesus Christ.
He's dude hates the list.
I don't know why I did the numbers like that, but I mean, obviously you can figure it out. It did the numbers all weird.
It did.
So it's 32-1, pretty much, is what his is.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why I did all the numbers weird either. So this is they're gonna look poopy. We can just get rid of the numbers. All right. So this is what I got since we didn't have time to put it in today. Shit. Where's Michael out on Discord? There he is. So we're gonna go start with mine here. So we don't have Michael's. So starting off at number 1 for me, I have the Buffalo Bills number 1. Don't know why, but for me, I just think about what Josh Allen has done with that team. Worser of a team, lesser of a team, and I feel like he's always, he's in a bad division, but I mean he's always in the playoffs.
They're good sketchy.
MVP front runner conversations, year after year, so, and I think they have the best win. In my opinion, to start the year off. So, I got Buffalo at my number 1 spot. Mike, who's at yours?
Yeah, I also got Buffalo.
Got Buffalo, so we link up there. Next week we'll have a better presentation of our power rankings here. Best I can do on last second notice. Number 2, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champs.
Not fair. They didn't really overly impress me. I had them as the second best team going into it, behind Baltimore. But obviously things shook up. But Buffalo won for me, and then I actually still have Baltimore at 2.
You still have Baltimore at 2. Yeah, well, I
think it's a good loss. Realistically, they should have won the game. It was mismanaged, turnover late cost them. But I think honestly, they're still probably the best team in football.
Yeah, I just can't reward a team that lost, especially this early. This was in week 5, 6, and they were 4-2. I can still probably sit with that argument and having them where they're at. For me, as you see, I got the Chargers at 3. Big win for them yet again.
You're off the Panya with that. Holy shit!
I don't know, man. I'm botting on the Chargers for some reason this year. I think they're going to be a good football team.
Look, I hope Justin Herbert proves me wrong, but I don't think he's all that. Obviously, I have Philly at 3.
Yeah, Philly at 3.
Yeah.
Then I got Baltimore at 4, and like I said, this is why I got my game of the week. My 5 and 6 and my power rankings are playing tonight, Thursday Night Football. Green Bay Packers versus Commanders.
I have the exact same 5 and 6 as you, but I do not have the same 4 as you, obviously.
Right, yeah, 'cause ours is a little skewed, but it's nice to see some
I,
ideas. L list, yeah.
I got the Bengals as the number 4.
Yeah, no. So I was gonna say, do we want to talk this whole list out, or kind of just point out some things? Like I said, I'm huge on Tampa Bay, but at number 10 on my list is the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, you might ask why. Truthfully, I'm a realist, but I should be a delusional fan. Um, offense, I don't expect an offense to play like that every week, but also we're not playing the defense. I don't think is going to be able to. We're not having 2 turnovers a week. It caused for the Bengals to win a missed field goal, a missed PAT, and 2 tipped interceptions basically into the Bengals' hands. For them to walk away with a 1-point win on the road in Cleveland. Negative 18 yards of total offense in the second half. I mean, I just can't. I don't know how I can justify that, even though I do have Detroit, in my top 10 sitting there, and Kansas City. But those those 2 losses they have, I have them in my top 5 of my list. You know what I mean? So it was a win for the Bengals, an ugly win. But I don't see how I can justify putting them up there. And then rounding out, obviously Tampa Bay sitting at 9, and then I'm kind of bought in on Jacksonville also. I know we talked about that earlier. I have them at 11, 12, 13, 14. I have Jacksonville sitting at 15 for me.
Jags are 12 for me.
Yeah, I have them sitting at 15. I got the 49ers.
13, sorry.
I have the 49ers and Rams in front of them. I think
I have the 49ers under them.
I think the 49ers. Well, is Purdy out, correct?
Purdy's out.
Yeah, so I made this prior to that knowledge.
Same.
But I still think that the 49ers will finish better. I think what I'm going to try to do with my power rankings is probably do like a top 14, but do like the top 7 in each. Like in the 14, I have 7 AFC, 7 NFC to kind of have the playoff picture like that. I think that's what I'm going to probably do in the future. This was kind of last minute at work. Then we want to scroll down the list. I know we talked about the cat a little bit, but CJ Stroud, I have them sitting right at the bubble, I believe at 20. I have Houston.
I have them at 21.
There are 21 on this list. Chicago's 20 for me, and then I know you hate to see it, but I got
the Giants at 31.
I got the Giants at 31. Panthers worst team in football until Bryce Young proves himself.
I have the Saints worst team in football, but I mean, I also have Carolina like 6 spots higher. I have them all the way at 26.
Yeah, truthfully,
I'm not out. Not out on them yet.
I wanted to put the Dolphins up higher, but
they can't be. If I'm being honest, I have Tennessee ranked ahead of Miami right now.
Yeah, I'm saying I wanted when I said higher, I meant like up in the 30s. But I think they'll bounce back. I think they're a better football team than the Titans, Saints, Giants, and the Panthers. That's kind of how I looked at it. Even with some teams winning and losing, like I got the Colts who won, but I got them above. Like the Colts won. Oh my, Control Z. The Colts won, but I have teams that lost, like the Texans, Jets, in front of them.
Fair.
I'm looking at rosters. I think it's too early to judge wins and losses. I think it's at this point who's got a better roster and whatnot. That's kind of where my power ranking went. And then also
I put Baltimore too.
Also, kind of tying in with the performance of their football game. Like to me, if the Colts would have lost, they'd probably be sitting right. They'd probably be where the Dolphins were, and the Dolphins would be where the Colts are.
Yeah.
But that was my list for week 1. Hopefully, we have a better one. I don't know if
we'll have a better one for you guys next week.
I don't know if we have.
I think that's it.
I think that's all we have for tonight. Is finishing out with that power rankings.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it here. That's gonna wrap up this stream here. Appreciate you guys who all tuned in and were in the chat for this first ever We Know Ball NFL. Appreciate you guys working with us with the delays. We had 2 guys couldn't show up last minute due to coming down with an illness. Like I said, P.F. Chang's, don't eat it. Um, but other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Mike, any last words?
Go Big Blue.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe, watch your football, and we'll see you guys next Thursday at 6:30.
Matthew Golden, first touchdown.
Bye.